Global from Asia, episode 223. globalfromasia.com/episode 223. We are talking FBA logistics from China directly.
Welcome to the Global from Asia podcast, where the daunting process of running an international business is broken down into straight-up, actionable advice. And now, your host, Michael Michelini.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Aurelia Pay. I use them personally for sending money to my Chinese suppliers from Hong Kong. It's a cross-border payment solution between China, Hong Kong, and Southeast Asia. So when I need to make a payment to a Chinese supplier, I just hop online to place the remittance, pay to the Aurelia Pay's Hong Kong-based bank account, and Aurelia Pay will settle RMB within the same business day. So check them out online at www.aureliapay.com, AURELIAPAY.com, or check them out linked in our show notes. Okay, everybody, episode 223, Global from Asia. Thank you for tuning in all the way up into the 200 and quarter almost shows. This week, I'm almost synced up. We are almost synced up at Global from Asia. We are trying to fix our SOPs and our processes and our content schedules and everything. This show was a video first, or is a video, but I know a lot of you guys, like me, prefer audio over video for content, long-form content, but we also have the video interview. If you want to watch me and Forrest talking, we have that actually first on the YouTube channel, which we're growing and building, which I appreciate you guys subscribing, globalfromasia.com/YouTube, to go above and beyond being awesome. It's listening and watching, and also maybe you're getting on our newsletters and other things. And I'm trying not to freak out, but we have our cross-border summit as far as the show goes online, in about 3 or 4 days after we release this show. And actually, Forrest Shipping and Forrest Zhang, the founder of the company, is a special supporter of the Global from Asia show and also the cross-border summit. So really, thank you, Forrest Shipping, for your support to continue to create amazing content for everyone listening. So I really appreciate that, and I hope everybody else does. Also, quick shout out to our other amazing sponsors for the Cross-Border Summit. Insight Quality. Andy Church has been an amazing supporter, keeping us going through these years, from supporting the show and the podcast and the e-commerce gladiator, Part Living. So really appreciate Insight Quality. WCWS, which is a new supply chain management system, will be sharing about at the summit. We also have EnoPlus, an LED solar factory, which will be our first VR factory tour for our VR. I'm not sure if I should have told you about that yet, but it's coming soon. And we also have FlowShip, an amazing shipping company, logistics company with Chris Moore and the founders there. Appreciate your support for Hong Kong-based fulfillment. And UnExpress, a shipping company for kind of middle of the market shipping for good value and time and delivery, based in China for your shipping. I know a lot of listeners are using UnExpress solutions. So thank you for all your amazing support, sponsors to Cross-Border Summit and also this show, Global from Asia. And we're about at a borderline of my ramble and rant in the introductions, but this show is great. It's Forrest Zhang, and she's a female entrepreneur and founder of her shipping company called Forrest Shipping, which is specialized in FBA prep services in Shenzhen. So the idea is you could send your manufacturing items from your Chinese factory to her in Shenzhen or other parts of China and have it prepped for your Amazon directly in China, and then she labels it and gets everything ready for the Amazon sales in the US or anywhere in the world. So without further ado, let's take it away. And we have the show notes, and also if you want to find the video link, we will put that also on the podcast. It's very complicated now with all this blogs and audio podcasts and video shows. So check it out at globalfromasia.com/episode 223. I know sometimes we mess up that link, but we try to fix it within a few days of publishing. Again, working on our systems and flows as we scale up our content and sync up our schedules. And I hope to see you guys at the summit, and you can meet Forrest. Her and I will be doing a fireside chat as well. All right, let's enjoy the show. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another Global from Asia TV series. We are here in the office of Forrest Shipping, and we have the CEO and founder, Forrest. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Hi, Mike.
Great. So can you introduce a little bit about the company here? You do specifically FBA shipping and logistics for sellers around the world?
Okay. Hello, everyone. My English name is Forrest, and our company is just Forrest Shipping. The name was just after my English name. Our company was built in 2010, and our main business is to provide the shipping service to Amazon FBA sellers, and also we have some shipping service for traditional and traditional business.
Great. Okay, so in addition to business, what are some of your hobbies you do besides FBA shipping?
My
hobby?
I think I really like to have a hobby for myself, but sometimes it's very busy. I hardly take time to do something for myself, but usually I can spend some time every day to read something. For that, I mean, my hobbies are just like reading. I read different books like management. Or some e-commerce and different books. I like reading very, very much. This is just my only hobby, I think.
Wow, that's a serious hobby, reading business books. Maybe some novels, or maybe in the future. That's great, though. That's really cool. So you stay on top of the business side, even in your downtime. Yeah. So let's get into the business part. Before we go into the deep interview, let's make sure people know about the whole process of FBA shipping from factory to Amazon. So do you want to give us an overview?
Okay, let me talk about the whole process for shipment to arrive to Amazon. Like if our customers, they accept our offer, they accept our quote, then we begin to process the booking. First, we will pick up from the supplier. We make appointment with the factory and the supplier to pick up the shipment from their warehouse. Then we will pick up to our warehouse, our own warehouse. If the supply warehouse is not the same, it's not in the city, then we will need inland shipping company, inland transportation company to ship the products to our warehouse. If they are in the same city, then our driver will pick up. And after shipment arrive in our warehouse, we will do some like preparation service. It depends on customer request. If the prep is already done, then we do not do that. Then like prep is like open a box to label and then repack. Then we stick the FBA label on the carton. Then after preparation is done, we will combine the shipment with our other customers' shipment together. Then after the shipment become, the volume is enough, we will book a whole container. We will drive the empty container from port to our warehouse. Then we stuff the container, and then stuff container, and then our warehouse staff will lock the container by a seal, and then the driver will deliver the full container to the port. And the broker will make declaration to China customers. Then after shipment is cleared from China customers, we'll ship to the shipping line. The shipping company will ship the container to like Los Angeles port. After Los Angeles, when our U.S. broker will clear the shipment and pay the duty, and then we'll pick up container and to our agent warehouse or a partner warehouse to do the unpacking, to do the disk consolidation. Then we'll do pallet, and then make appointment with Amazon. If the Amazon warehouse is in the same city is in the port city, then we can deliver. We can make appointment directly after the pallet is done. But if they are in the different city, then we need to first transit the shipment from the port city to the final city. Then after the shipment arrive in the final city warehouse, then we will make appointment with Amazon, and then we will deliver for Amazon's date.
Okay, well, you have a lot of steps there.
This is just by sea, but if by air, it will be not. It's same, but the process will be easy. But also the process, although it's easy, but when you take the nearly the same thing.
Okay. So 2010, that was pretty early. I think FBA wasn't as mature, as big as it is now.
Yeah.
And how did you discover the market or the need for this service?
How do we discover the market, right? Since we built in 2010, my customer, they are just my friends. They do some. They do not know much about the international trade or international shipping. They are some very young people. They sell in eBay and in some overseas website that I don't know. They need someone to help them to provide the door-to-door service. They are just my friends, so I help them, and we talk and we communicate very deeply. Just from 2010, my customers, they are doing some small business for e-commerce. Just after 2012, after 2 years of my business built, and Amazon has opened their arms to China seller. So my customer and also my friends just enter the Amazon market, and then my service just followed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just follow my friends and requirement, and I learn from them, and I communicate, and they teach us how the e-commerce shipping was like, and then.
So yeah, I think that's really important for people listening and watching to learn from is listening to your customer, your user, learning from them, and so you did traditional logistics as well as FBA, and like you mentioned, the Chinese market for FBA opened in 2012.
Yeah.
So that must have really changed the business a lot.
You mean change our business? It's not about change. I think it's about to improve or let our business more complex and more international. I think because in the very first beginning, our customer, the small e-commerce seller, they just let us ship to their warehouse or their partner warehouse. Is a simple door-to-door shipping. But for the Amazon FBA, we need to know how to make appointment with Amazon. We need to follow the Amazon's delivery guidance and instruction. And we need pallet, and we need to know how to load the container. So this just make our shipping more professional, I think.
Yeah, I could imagine. Mm-hmm. So that's called Amazon Prep Service, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people watching are familiar with it, but do you want to share a little bit more about what is involved with prepping for Amazon?
problem for Amazon, I think this is usually applied for foreign Amazon seller because they are just in foreign country, not in China, and they buy from the supplier. Sometimes their supplier do not know how to prep, how to pack the products according to Amazon requirements, and so our customers, the Amazon seller, they need someone to help them to pack the products or label the products and pallet pack products, or even store them in some warehouse and then ship. So our job is to pick the products from supplier and deliver to our warehouse, and then when do the label the product and then label the carton, and then we ship to our customers outside the warehouse.
Makes sense. Yeah. So I think I understand a lot of the foreign sellers, like you mentioned, they're not as familiar with China logistics, China suppliers. And I think a lot of them want to buy from multiple factories and consolidate here and then prep together.
Yeah, they buy from different suppliers. Like they buy some especially for some US Amazon sellers, they buy like from south and from north. So their supply may across China, and we need to collect from different places of our country and then do the gathering in our warehouse.
Yes, it can. That's an important service. I think a lot of people that are tuning in will understand that if you don't have a good supply chain, e-commerce is a lot about logistics and supply chain.
Yes.
So it's good to. Do you have the way to help foreigners or the international sellers to navigate China more? Some questions coming up is like a lot of people get FOB Ningbo, FOB Shenzhen. Should they send separately, or should they consolidate even if it's a Ningbo or Zhejiang factory or like a Guangdong factory? What do you normally, I guess it depends on the size. If it's like a LCL, like not a full container, should they try to consolidate the shipments, or should they send separately?
I think sometimes it depends on our customer, their strategy. In the very first beginning, I think most of our customers, they just ship from different ports to Amazon directly. At that time, I think their selling price in Amazon it's quite good. I think so they can be the shipping rate to ship separately. But I just found from last year, and many customers ask us if we can combine some shipment from different places because they want to save the shipping cost. Then we tell them that you can save the shipping cost by combination, but the shipping time, the transit time might be longer. So it depends on our customer if they want to save cost or if they want the quicker shipping time.
Understand.
But if they, it depends on customer. Anyway, we can provide the service they want because we do a lot of the consolidation service in our warehouse.
Nice. So I think one other thing I've noticed is EXW and FOB, because a lot of foreigners don't have the export license. They can't do the VAT rebate. They should still do FOB price with consolidation? Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. For some suppliers, they have the export license. Then sometimes they just choose the FOB term with the Amazon seller, the buyer. And so at this time, then Amazon seller, they do not worry about how to export. But for some local, some inland Amazon supplier, they have no export license. Then we can provide the license, but the license our export license cannot get the VAT rebate. There's no VAT return. Yeah, this is not allowed.
I see.
And also, there's some company in China. They just provide some such the exporting service.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So just to summarize to viewers, what's happening is a lot of times, most of the time, factories quote FOB, which is free on board. It means to the port, usually Ningbo or Shenzhen, maybe Hong Kong. But sometimes you might want and it's usually in USD, US dollars, right? But then sometimes you might want the EXW or X Works price, which is in RMB, which is Chinese yuan currency. Yeah. But people think that's cheaper, but usually it's more expensive because it has the VAT tax in it. So sometimes, even in my own FBA businesses and experiences, the markets like Huaqiangbei or Yiwu or these markets, they don't have the export license. You just pay them RMB cash for the cartons. And then I think you cannot get the rebate, so you just lose the rebate price.
I think, to do the VAT rebate, the VAT return, the process is not so
it's
simple.
Very complicated.
It's very difficult, complicated. Like if you want to do the VAT rebate, then you may need hire professional accountant to do that. You need to pay more energy and time. I think if your export volume is not so much, I think it's not very necessary to do the VAT rebate.
Yeah, so I always tell people, you can always save money later. I mean, I know you don't want to lose money or pay higher fees, but I think people should still focus on marketing and sales.
Yeah.
The business of getting more customers, not the business of tax rebates with FAPiao and VAT and all that. Even in China, people don't like to do it. So if you're overseas in the USA, it's almost impossible to worry about it. And so I think people, if you pay X Works, don't even expect to get the rebate. So about this prep service, which is, I just want to make sure people tuning in know how valuable it is. They could just send it from the factory without prep to US, right, directly. Yeah. So there are other options. There's options like they could send it to a USA prep service that then sends to Amazon, or they could send to Amazon directly without the prep. Is that even possible? Maybe we can just compare prepping with in China, prepping in USA with third party, or prepping. Is it possible just to send directly to Amazon?
Yes, it's possible. Also, we have some customers, they ship just directly from supplier to US, but they have two options. First, they ship to some third-party warehouse. They ask us to ship to maybe their partner warehouse to do the labeling and do the inspection service in US, or they just ship to Amazon without labeling. I think they may ask Amazon to label for the products. This is some customers' choice, but for most of our Amazon sellers, they choose to label in China because they want to save the time and save the cost.
True. So yeah, I can agree. It's definitely cheaper and faster to do the prep here in China. Yeah. Can we get some ideas of how much time it could be to do that? Or is there a way to estimate? I know it depends on the product and the quantity, but is there some ways we could get some ideas of how much time some sellers should expect to consolidate and prep their shipment?
I think that it really depends on the quantity. Like if we have 100 pieces, you have 1,000 different. And our warehouse for prepping service is in Shenzhen. Okay. Like if our customer, they have supplier in northern city then we need to pick up from northern city, then transport from there to our warehouse. Then shipping time is like 2 to 3 days. And after the products arrive in our warehouse, it depends on the product quantity. But anyway, we can control the time to 1 week. We will finish.
That's great. So I think for just me to summarize, or maybe correct me if I make a mistake. Of course, they have to buy from the factory, manufacture the goods. And what about packaging? Do you recommend they do that? That should be still done at the factory, like the color box and the packaging. Do you provide that service? Do you think it's better they package here, or should they package at the factory for the assembly, probably at the factory, and then they send to you in the carton, and then you prep for Amazon the cartons and then palletize it, and then you ship it to Amazon USA?
If you mean for the product in a package, then we recommend our customer to choose to pack in factory, because the supplier is more familiar for the products. They know how to pack well. Based on our former experience, we do have some customers. They send the package from the carton factory, and then they ask some the product suppliers ship the product to our warehouse. Then when we use the carton or some box to pack the products. But I think we're not very good at that, because sometimes the product is very special, and we are not professional at it. I think one bad experience, maybe in 2015, we have a Japanese customer. They found our package is not quite well. He just fly from Japan to our warehouse, and then replace the card package by himself. So we advise it's better to pack the products, just the products by supply themselves.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, so it's good. I think everyone listening, tuning in, appreciates you're usually. I don't want to say in China, a lot of people say no problem, I can do everything. But you are able to say what you are good at or prefer to do, and what maybe is better someone else does. So I don't have a box near me, but basically the color box, with the packaging, the retail packaging, inner packaging would be done at the factory with the specifications of the customer, of the buyer, and then the inner carton and the master carton would be also packed at the factory, or would that be packed? Would they send it to you just with the retail packaging, not really cartons, or should they have cartons sent?
They should have the carton sent to us, and with the inner package inside. After the carton arrive in our warehouse, when we sort or we separate as per our customer requirement.
Yeah. Because in my experience, a lot of times the factory doesn't know about the Amazon requirements. Okay, this has been an interesting talk, and I like how you were saying that you have your strengths, and then the factories can do the packaging, and then you can consolidate and prep and then ship to Amazon. It's mostly. Do you normally do FCL, LCL by sea or by air? And then what's the normal use case? Maybe we can talk about some examples for shipping to Amazon.
For FCL, it's for full container load, and if the supplies of shipment volumes is enough for 4 containers, then we call it FCL. But most of the time, then we ship by LCL for our customer, because their volume is not so big. Then we need combine different the shipment from different customer into one container, and this is called LCL, less than one container load. So just because the volume, for some Amazon sellers that do not want to ship so much for one time, or they do not have so much volume in the inventory volume in Amazon warehouse, so they just ship by LCL, like 5 or 10 cubic meter. And we combine them with other supplies, with other Amazon sellers shipment together in one container.
Yeah. So just my summary is, so even I was mostly, when I did e-commerce, we're starting e-commerce again, LCL is the most common. It means, like you said, less than container load. So logistics companies like you consolidate multiple people's shipments into one container.
Yeah.
And then ship that to that port, say LA. Mostly it's Los Angeles, right?
It's not mostly Los Angeles. I think sometimes it depends on the final destination. Our routine is like when you ship to the final port or the final train station or some CFS, that is the customer warehouse, where is the nearest to Amazon warehouse, not just LA, because LA is in west coast of US. It actually is very far to some Amazon warehouse.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. I understand. And then it's back to LCL. It's mostly, that means sea. Does people do air mostly, or is always mostly sea what you see are working with?
I think they are the same. It depends on the customers, their decision. If they want to ship, they want the products arrive earlier, and they want to sell fast, or if they just want and prepare the inventory and they save the shipping cost, and then they ship by sea.
Okay.
Yeah. For our company, we have around 75% of shipment is by sea, and then the left is by air or by express.
Got it. And I think you might think it's hard to believe, or many people in China hard to believe, but many foreigners never see their product or even go to the factory or even see their product when it's sold to the customer, because now there's FBA. So many people are in, I don't know if you know, many are in Thailand or they're in Vietnam.
Yes.
I think many of people you work with are there too. They're digital nomads, and they source on maybe global stores, Alibaba, or it's online, and then they use your service, Consolidate, and they ship to USA, and then they send to the customer. So I thought it would be nice today, we will take a little tour of some facilities so that people can see the container shipments, the consolidation, some products, because I think a lot of people don't see that. So let's take a look.
Okay.
For those that were watching, we hope you get some more ideas of what actually happens to your products when you're buying from the factory and selling on Amazon. I still think it's funny, a lot of these, myself included, never see our products in real life and make a full-time business from it. So getting towards the end of our business talk, what are some of the common mistakes or problems you see some of especially the foreigners or the international sellers making when they're dealing with the factory and shipping with you?
I think it's not about mistakes. I think it's about the ignorance for international shipping or international trade, because some of our customers, they are like mom or pop. Yeah, they say the Amazon is not their major business. They may do Amazon as a part-time job. They take the international shipping very easy. Like when we tell them the ETA, the estimated time of arrival is like maybe today or tomorrow, then they will ask if the shipment can be delivered to Amazon just one day after the ship arrival. So they make the shipping plan by their own idea. So they do not know that we need more time to do some other thing, like we need to pick shipment out of port or out of warehouse, when clear shipment, then we'll do the palletization in US, then we'll deliver to Amazon, or before after we make an appointment. So I think we need maybe 1 week or even longer time, but there's some customers that do not expect that. They just wait very urgently from the cargo delivered to Amazon. They are not quite understand the process.
Yeah.
So sometimes the delivery time, the actual arrival time is later than expectation. This will maybe destroy their plan.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I understand. I understand everyone wants to sell on Amazon right away. It takes especially the first time you start to sell online or Amazon, especially if you're buying from a Chinese factory, you have to source the product, order it, hopefully it's QC or quality control, send consolidation, prepping, and then LCL or shipping on the sea is a few weeks. So I tell people at least 3 or 4 months, really. It depends. You also got to find the right product. So at least maybe even half a year, really. Right?
That's right.
So I think a lot of people think they can just make money online. Like you said, they're part-time. They have a job, and they want to make some money on part-time. They need to realize, especially if you're buying from a factory, it's going to take a long time, and you're going to have to learn a lot too. So I think people learn from today, sharing, and we also want to dive in about your story. It's just interesting. So you've been an entrepreneur. This was 2010. It started.
Yeah.
But even before, were you doing your own business or?
Before 2010, I work in just also a shipping company,
Okay.
but I work as a marketing. I need to know the whole market in the shipping in Shenzhen shipping.
Cool.
We need to know who is the advantage and disadvantage for different shipping company, and we need to cooperate with them, and we need to sell our own products, our own the console service to the other counterpart, our competitor.
Okay. And then it's we try to have more women entrepreneurs on the show, and it's great to see you successful with this. It's 8 years now, and I'm sure it was many hard, long time nights. And you also are married with a baby,
2 kids.
Yeah. So I also have a family, and it's my wife is behind the camera today helping. So I understand that it must be challenging to run the business while being a mother, or how do you manage your personal and business?
It's very hard to manage them, to balance them. I think for me, and I indeed do a lot of sacrifice for the basic family. I have not so much time to take care of the kids, or even take care of my husband. They just take care by themselves. But I just try to spend some time to stay together with them, or eat together with them. But I think before 2014, I have some time to stay with my family and to take care of my kids. But after 2014, because many Chinese Amazon sellers, they come to our business for shipping. we become very busy, terrible busy, and I really have no time to think about more the family union, because I think this is very hard for me to give the plenty time to my family, because the shipping business is the door-to-door service is very long process. If we have one mistake just from one process, then the whole process will be very difficult and will cause a lot of loss for our customer. And if for the customer they complain our service, they may spread the complaint from among their friends, then this will affect our business.
I know it's good. I mean, that you really care about your customer. I feel I know some of your customer. They talk to me, like Eric in LA. He said he met you, but I think many people are happy with your service, and I think many foreigners need someone like you here that really seems to care about their business and their order. So I'm happy to have you on the show today. And how can people find about your business online?
We have a website, the www.foreignshipping.com, and usually our customers they view our website and they can leave message and send the message to us. Then we have a overseas customer service team. We have 10 person,
wow.
2 boys and 8 girls to follow the request by the foreign Amazon seller.
Okay.
For 10 customer service, we assign the customer service for our Amazon seller. So if the Amazon seller work with us, therefore their shipment will be monitored, will be followed just by one person in our company.
Great. Yeah, that's good. So they have the personal relationship or the service.
Yeah. We the personal relationship. The just one person, the keep contact will be the major will be solving all the problem for this customer. Yeah. They can talk by phone or by Skype, by email, and anyway they can find our customer service.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, Forrest, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll see you at the Cross Border Summit.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Forrest. I hope everybody enjoyed that interview and gave you some more ideas of how FBA prep works directly in China. And there's all kinds of opportunities and different ways of doing your logistics. And I know there's quite a few supporters of the show and listeners of the show that are in the logistics industry. It also comes down to who you trust. It also comes down to where you're getting your products and your supply chain. And e-commerce is very, of course, reliant on good supply chain. There's been service providers, of course, sometimes that get a little bit overheated and mismanage shipments, unfortunately. And sometimes, as an e-commerce seller myself, now and in the past, I know how painful it is to have your orders mixed up. So make sure you find the right provider. Find someone that you trust. Try different people out. Try maybe test orders with different service providers, and hopefully they stand the test of time. I do feel comfortable to say give Forrest a shot, and we visited her facilities, and I know people that use her services. Even some listeners have heard and seen me talking about her on content and have sent me some messages. So, but use who you're comfortable with. But I'd always appreciate people supporting those that support us and giving them a shot. So I'm going to get back to talking to people about Cross Border Summit on email. So many speakers, just the speakers alone, almost at 40 speakers. So a lot of management and everything. And thank you if you've got your ticket. I really appreciate your support. Currently, everybody asks how Global From Asia makes money. We make money currently from events and sponsors. Mostly, we have services with our partner at Unipro, CPA firm with Hong Kong Corporation too, and others. Of course, e-commerce gladiator starting to make some money. So everybody's always asking me, Mike, how do you make money? Maybe I'll have a whole show about that one day. How does Mike make money? You hear the babies crying in the background, and they eat more and more food. I shared on my WeChat the other day of 2011, I was a little bit rounder, and now I'm slimmer. I think I joke, my kids wore me down, eat all my food, take all my money. Anyway, thanks for listening. If you're interested in checking out the show notes with links and videos and other things, globalfromasia.com/episode 223. Thank you for listening. Thank you, sponsors. And thank you, people coming to our events or even getting our online tickets. I know of you guys coming through on that. I do appreciate that too. Cheers.
To get more info about running an international business, please visit our website at www.globalfromasia.com. That's www.globalfromasia.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to our iTunes feed. Thanks for tuning in.